Hi folks, as you can see there I was cutting out the brass tube on my bandsaw with a hard pointed blade in, and these are brass 1.5 inch diameter by 3/4. As you can see, I'm building two pyramids. 1, 2. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make a bird feeder. So the next stage is to clean all the edges with this deburring tool, and then I'm going to use it's just standard silicone, and I'm going to attach all these together with blobs of silicone in between, and then I'm going to attempt to make the frame out of glass from a second-hand double glazing unit. So I will go and clean those up now and glue them all together and be back shortly. That's all the inside edges deburred with the standard engineering burring tool. Now the next job is to get rid of all these sharp edges on the outside and smooth up the face so there's no sharp edges to catch. I'll clean up the outside while I'm on at the same time, and just make it nice and smooth when the birds pass through. That's one side and the other. It'll look nice and shiny in the beginning, but it'll weather and tarnish with its own pattern after a while. So I've got 42 of those to do. This 21 in each side. So I will I've got all those to do. So when I've got all those done, I'll come back and show you the next stage. For the glass, I'm going to use this old second-hand double glazing unit. Now to get the glass out, what you do, you saw down to the glass on the corners on each side, and then with an axe or a hammer just gently slide the axe or the hammer against the glass. And persuade it so you can lift the piece out like that. So you have to do that on all sides. And then with a box cutter, cut the seal between and separate the glass panes. There we have the double glazing unit out of the frame. What's needed now is, again using the box cutter, I'm going to clean off all these bits of putty, and then if you carefully with your box cutter try and do this quickly, you put it in at one corner and break through, preferably with a new blade. You can, with a bit of persuasion, run the blade down the inside like this. It's pretty tough stuff, is that bitumen that they use, so I'll go and do that and then I'll be back shortly. There we have the one pane separated. Once you get 3 sides off it, it pulls apart quite easily. So you repeat the process and take the bitumen off the other side. Now we have the glass separated, the two halves. Now there's a bit of a monotonous job, changed out a new blade and then if you hold it square you can remove 99% of this bitumen from the glass, and what bits that don't come off you can get off with some solvent later, but it is sticky, horrible stuff this, but it's mostly preparation in the next few stages. Then we'll measure up and cut up. This DG unit's been stood for quite a few years now. It's quite dry actually, is this the tape, so it's coming off quite easy. So I'll go and clean them all up and then prepare them for cutting to size. So I'll pause the video once again, I'll be back shortly. That's the glass all cleaned off. Now the next thing you need to do is work out what the length of the base is going to be, basically. So when the glass is laid down, it comes down on the outside of the rings and crosses over at the corner point. So what I did was just put a piece of wood against there, pull all the rings, they're all loose at the moment, and then laid my glazier's square, which is dead flat on one side, and then from the very corner rested the glazier's bar against the rings and drew a line upwards. So that gives you the overlap you're going to need here at the corner, so the glass comes down and then goes exactly over the corner. And as it looks here, it's roughly about half an inch past the bottom of the side of the bottom, half an inch past the bottom of the bottom rings. So that gives you your fixed point. Done that on both sides. That gives you your fixed point there to how wide your base is going to be, where you need to cut your glass itself. So that's the base plate which sits at the bottom. So I'll go and mark that out and cut that out, and then I'll be back in a tick. Hi, so there we are with the glass cut. You got the half an inch either end, which is the right gap, so when the glass comes down and along the edge of the pipe, it'll exactly meet the corner of the glass as well. So using 1.5 inch OD brass tubing, you can use copper or plastic if you wanted to. The width of this base plate comes out at, I'll do it in old values, it comes out at 10.25 inches. Is that 10th, not 16th? Yeah, that's 10.25 inches wide for the base plate. So when you lean the glass into the pyramid, it meets exactly in the corner and touches the side surface of the rings. Oh, and by the way, a word of warning: when you're cutting these double glazing units, you've got to remember, if you look carefully on the glass, you'll see, I don't know whether you'll be able to see it or not, you've got a kite mark there which says toughened. Now the outer pane of glass on the double glazing units is always toughened. It's nigh on impossible to cut it. You can only use the inner sheet of glass, so beware. If you're going to, it will scribe with a decent glass cutter with the serrated wheels like these Toyo ones, but if you try to break it, it will shatter in all directions. So only use the inner pane on the actual DG unit itself. So I've got no silicone at the moment to glue all these together, so what I'm going to do, I'll finish this video now and I'll do a part 2 later to show you the rest of the bird feeder. So thank you for looking. Bye for now.